And yeah, hi guys. Today we are going to see some of the basic concepts. Okay, some of the basic concepts like variables and set payload. We'll see that kind of basic concept we are going to see. So for that, this is the Anypan Studio. Here we are going to create a one application. In that application only everything we can do. How you can create the application? Simply go to the file option, select the new and select the mule project. Okay. So then you can create a one mule project here. So before creating the mule project, here you need to give the project name. You can give anything. Okay, there is no restrictions. So just I want to give as a some kind of a basics example. So just click on finish button. So then it will create a project for you. Okay, it will create a project structure for you. Okay, it will not create entire project, it will just create a project structure for you. This is the entire project structure. So here you can see a convoy, empty convoy, we can call it as a empty convoy. So this is called mule palette. From the mule palette you will drag the components to the palette and you can build a flow. So in MuleSoft, you will not write any kind of a coding. Directly, you will not write like a number of lines of code. Simply, you will create a one flow here. Here, you will create a one flow. Inside flow, you will drag this component based on your requirement. Okay. So based on requirement, you need to drag the components and you will build a one flow. This flow will take the data from the source system and it will process. It will send to the target system. This flow will do that thing. Even here also you can see the same thing. So in MuleSoft you will create a one flow. Inside flow it will take the data from the source system and it will process. Finally it will send to the target system by using the connector. Okay. So in this way you can assume. So in the first session only I'll not explain all these things. First I'll explain this part. After that I will add the process part. Later on, I will add the target part. Okay, so step by step, we'll learn each and everything. So then only you will understand. Otherwise, if I tell everything in a single project, then you will get confused. Okay, so we'll see from the basic onwards. Today we are going to see how we can initialize the set payload, how we can initialize the variables. The two parts we are going to see today. Okay, so first of all, if you want to start your flow, you will always start with the HTTP listener. Just remember this HTTP listener. Why we need to use this HTTP listener especially? You can use any other components, right? Here you can see a lot of components here you can see. But why I am using only HTTP listener? Why? Because from the postman you are sending request as a HTTP protocol. So if you want to listen these kind of request, HTTP request, you have to use the HTTP listener. HTTP listener only can listen the HTTP listener only can listen the request from the postman. Why? Because here you are sending HTTP protocol request, right? So that's why we are using HTTP listener. So to listen that request, you are sending some request, right? HTTP localhost 8081 message. To listen this request, you need to configure this HTTP listener. Just click on plus button and here as it is whatever you are sending here HTTP localhost 8081, these three things you need to configure here. HTTP localhost 8081 configure, right? So then click on OK button. So here you are sending one path. What is this path? Message is the path. Okay, I don't want to send this. I want to remove this. Okay, so this name equal to Niranjan is a query params. Here you can see query params, right? If you unselect this, automatically these query params will gone. So now my complete URL is like HTTP localhost 8081 slash message. This slash message I can give as part of the HTTP listener path. This is the path. Here I can give. Okay. Now my configuration, HTTP listener configuration is done. So in the configuration, I have given port. Okay, I have given this protocol host port details in the configuration level. In the path level, I have given just only path only. Right now, my HTTP listener configuration is done. Even if you want to edit this, you should not click on add button every time. Just you have to click on edit button. Okay, automatically it will go to the global elements. Here you can see global elements. Okay, so in the global elements, the configuration will create. Whatever you have created the configuration in the HTTP listener, this HTTP listener configuration will create here in the global elements. Even from here also you can edit. From here also you can edit this. Otherwise, you can go to the message flow directly from the component also you can edit. How you can edit? Here you can see the edit button, right? So after plus you can see the edit button. Click on the edit button. Simply here also you can edit. Okay, both are same. If I change it 808.1 to 8082 and click on OK, so then what needs to change? Go to Postman. Here you need to change 8082. So then only our application will accessible. Otherwise, you cannot access your application from the Postman. Okay. Sorry. Someone is saying something. That's fine. So then now I'm receiving my request. After that, I'm processing my request. Here you can see this is the inbound connector. This is the process. Okay. In the process level, you will process your request. How you can process, I'll explain. Okay. First of all, I want to capture this body. Okay. I want to capture this body and I want to process this body. How can I capture that body? By using set payload component. Here you can use this set payload component. Okay. Just assume this is the set payload component. So here you can see payload. Okay, payload nothing but I'm sending some body here, right? That body, it will come here. It will set to the set payload. Even you can set the type also, MIME type also. Okay, if you go to the MIME type, here you can set the MIME type. What is the type we are getting? JSON type, right? That JSON type you need to set here. Why? Because whenever this data will come to the MuleSoft, okay, it will not come directly. It will not come as it is in a JSON format. It will come in a some kind of a streaming object format. So again, I need to convert into a JSON format. Required format I need to convert. So for that, here I am selecting like application by JSON. So now I have selected application by JSON. So, and I'm going to the general again. Okay, MIME type means you can select the MIME type. General means payload. I'm not touching anything in the payload. Okay, just I'm setting the payload. Whatever coming from the input request, this body I'm setting as a payload inside set payload. Okay, nothing but I'm setting the payload to my flow. Okay, properly I'm setting my payload to the flow. Now I'm setting my payload. If you want to print and see this payload, you can print by using the logger. Okay, I want to check whether this payload is coming properly or not. How can I check? By printing the payload in the logger. So for that, simply click on finish button, sorry, FX button. Okay, click on FX button and here you can write the payload. Directly you can write the payload. Okay, otherwise if you press control space, it will give some suggestions. In the suggestions also you can select the payload. Okay, okay, sorry, message flow. Okay, so logger means here I have set payload. Okay, so I'm not doing anything, simply I'm doing these things. Okay, so this is my flow. So now I want to run this flow. Simply right click on this empty space and run the application. Okay, run the application. So my application is going to run. Once it is run successfully, so then I can hit this application from the Postman. You need to download 3 softwares before starting MuleSoft. What is that? Postman, Java, and Anypan Studio. This is the Postman. This is the Anypan Studio. This Anypan Studio will work on top of Java. Java will work internally. Okay. So 2 softwares are required mandatory. Front side. So backend Java needs to be installed. Okay. So now my application is got deployed. If I sending my request, okay, if I'm sending this request, now I can see the response you will get. So this response will going through this flow or not? How you can assume? So here you are setting some logger, right? So in this logger you are printing payload. So where you can see this payload in the console, you can see that payload. Now you can see this is the logger message processor. So it is printing the data. So nothing but you can understand like the data is come to the MuleSoft and it is printing here. Again it is returning back to the browser. Browser means Postman. So here same response you are getting here. You are sending request, same response you are getting here. Okay. So after that, I'm using one file component. Why? I want to store this data in a one file in my local folder. How can I do that? By using file connector. Simply you need to add the file connector to your project. After that you can utilize that operations. How you can utilize? Simply click on add modules. So here you can choose the file module to your project, drag to a project. Okay. So now I have added this file module to my project, and in the file module you can see different operations. Which operations I can select? Write operation I can select. Okay, write operation I can select. Now you can see here I can configure the folder name where I want to save my data in a file. I need to configure that. So for that, simply I want to save my data on desktop mule files folder. Okay, mule file folder, and I want to save my data as a customer data. So this is kind of a customer data, right? I want to save my data as a customer data. So here simply browse that folder. On desktop you have mule files folder. Where is that mule files folder? In this folder I want to save my data as a customer, and I want to save my data in a JSON format. So that's why I need to give the extension is like .json. So then I can save my data in a JSON format. Simply click on open button. So the all path will create here. So if I'm sending any data, payload data, so that payload data will go and it will save into this folder and into this file properly. Okay, let's see. I will save this application. Save means Control S. So then obviously it will redeploy. This application will redeploy. If you press Ctrl S, automatically it will redeploy. Then you can see this message. This application is restarted. Okay, so restarted app basics exam. Let's again hit the request. Again the request will come here. Again the logger will print here. After that the data will goes to this file and it will write that data into the file. You need to check whether this file is created or not, this whole data is written into that file or not. You can check. Okay, how you can check? Just go to the desktop into this, and here you can see customer file created, that is also in JSON format. Even you can check the timings also. 10:07, here you can see 10:07. Just now this file is created today. If you open this, here you can see customer name, product, brand, price, everything you can see. If I want to increase the price, okay, if I want to increase the price, I'll close this file. Here I can increase the price. So what is my price? 25,000. Okay, I'm sending the request. Okay, so now you can see I'm going to the file. Here you can click and you can see 25,000, right? So if you are updating any data in the Postman and if you are sending, automatically the updated data will store into the file. In this way, you can process your data from the source system to target system. Here you can assume Postman is your source system. Why? Because directly Flipkart or Amazon will not send the data to our Mule application, right? So that's why I have take this Postman as a some kind of a source system. From here, it will send the details. MuleSoft will capture the details. It will process to the file. Okay, it will process to the file. Here you can assume file is our source system. Target system. Okay, Postman is our source system. File is our target system. We are processing the data. Okay, so now I'm inserting my data into the file. So finally, I'm sending this request. I'm getting same response. But I don't want this kind of response. I want different kind of response. Which kind of response I want? I want get a response in a different format. Like details are inserted successfully into the file. That kind of response I required. So how can I write that response? So for that, again you need to take the one more set payload. Okay. So by using set payload, you can set your own content rules. Here you are taking the content from the Postman and you are converting in a proper format and you are sending into the file. After that, I have pasted one more set payload. Here I am setting my own content. Here I am setting my own content. What content I am setting? Like data written to file successfully. Data written to file successfully. So this kind of message I want to send back to the browser. Here MIME type I can set. MIME type I want to set as a text format. Okay. Text by plain I want to set. Okay. Text by plain is fine. Let's see. Here it is not required, but I am setting. So here I can say some kind of a 8 EFT8 I can set encoding. This is not required. We'll see. Let's see will it send or not. Okay, so I'm pressing Ctrl S. So then it is restarting. I'm sending the request. Now you can see data returned to file successfully. This kind of message you will get. So instead of getting as this, I'm sending request, I'm getting response as a same thing. So it's look like it's not a great thing, right? So but I want to return a one proper message to the customer. If we send this all these details, if he can get these details like data written to file successfully, so then he can understand all his details processed to the file successfully. Okay, if you are returning same data as a response, then you will not understand anything, right? So that's why we can set our own payloads. Okay, in the general you can set our own payloads by using set payload. Otherwise you can process whatever you are coming from the MuleSoft. Okay, whatever you are coming from the Postman to the MuleSoft, that payload also you can process by using the set payload. Two things set payload will do: it will process the already existing payload, and even you can set your new payload also. If you set any new payload, all the old payload will overwritten. Okay, if you set this new payload, this previous payload will gone, right? So finally only the new payload will return to the browser. Okay, and I want to tell you one like thumb rule. Okay, we can call it as a thumb rule or a blunder rule. So what is that? If you created any flow, if you created any flow, like that flow will be like 20 components also sometimes. Whatever you have in a end of the flow payload, okay, whatever the payload you have in a end of the flow, that payload only will return to the browser. Okay, so this is the main thumb rule. So you have to remember in your entire career. Okay, don't forget this. Whatever you have payload in a end of the flow, that payload will return to the browser. Okay, so for example, I have this payload in my end of the flow, so that's why this payload only will return to the browser. This is the browser. Okay, so if I want to return any another payload, you can return this. Okay, yeah guys, and one more thing, yeah, in this way we can define all our set payloads. Okay, tomorrow we are going to see like variables, where we can use these variables. Okay, so I'll explain. That is also very interesting topic. So set payload, this is the set payload. Here also I can include the variables also, but it's look like some clumsy. Anyway, if you want to see, then we'll see. Okay, for example, I want to get the, yeah, tell me.
వెంకన్న గారు ఒక నిమిషం. ఇప్పుడు
Yeah, tell me.
మనము రైట్ కాంపోనెంట్ ఇచ్చాం కదండి.
Yes, exactly.
అందులో ఇప్పుడు డేటా ఇప్పుడు పోస్ట్ మ్యాన్ నుంచి ఏదైతే ఇచ్చినామో ఆ డేటా వచ్చేసి ఈ రైట్ కాంపోనెంట్లో సేవ్ అయి ఉంటుందా?
ఎస్, అవును, అంతే కదా.
అవును.
సో అయితే ఇస్తామో సేమ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్, దట్ డేటా విల్ ప్రాసెస్ హియర్. ఇట్ విల్ print here in the console. It will printing purpose we have used logger. Write means automatically it will consume the data, it will process to the file, that particular file, this file.
ఆ customer.json ఆ ఫైల్లో మనం చూడొచ్చు ఆ డేటాని.
Yeah, obviously.
అవుట్పుట్లో వచ్చేసి డిఫరెంట్గా వస్తుంది కదా.
Your voice is breaking. Yeah, understood your question. So here, like now you got like which data is storing in the file, whether this data or this data, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, here if you see in a order wise, so what is the order? First the payload will come to MuleSoft, after that we are printing. So this payload only will go to the flow, file. Here you can see the arrow mark, right? Based on this arrow mark it will process the data. First this payload, like postman payload will come, it will print in a console for our purpose, and after that it will return into the file. After that, once it is written this like postman data, after that it will come out, and we are setting our own payload. This payload only will send back to the browser. So to send back to the browser we are setting our own payload, but within the file we are writing the postman data only. Even if you want to check that, so you can check also. Okay, I am sending 30,000 here. 30,000 I am sending. Now you can see I'm sending 30,000. Okay, data written file to successfully, and I'm going to the file. Now you can check. Yeah, you can see 30,000. Only postman data will save into the file, but to return to the browser I'm setting my own payload. So I'm not satisfying with this payload actually. So whatever I'm sending input request, same thing I don't want to see in a response. So that's why I'm setting my own response. Even you can set in a other formats also, JSON format also you can set. Okay, how you can set JSON format? So for that you need to do something. Okay, what you need to do? First you need to select the MIME type is like application by JSON. Okay, so this is first you have to do application by JSON, you need to select. After that, so JSON format should not be like this. Okay, so that should be different, key value pair model. So this is the JSON format. Okay, like curly braces will start and end. Here you can write the key value pairs. In this way you can write your JSON data. So for that you can click on the show graphical view. Here you can see I want to write in the proper format, curly braces end and close, curly braces end and close. After that you need to add one more key. Okay, key should be in double quotes, message, and key and column separated with the like colon. Here this is the value. Okay, double quotes should be better. Single quotes also fine. So better to give double quotes. So in this way you have to design your JSON data. Message data written to file successfully, and click on done. So now you can see I have created my data in a JSON format. Even I can set my MIME type is a JSON. So now I'm saving this content. Let's see. I'm saving means it will redeploy, right? Obviously. So even if you want to clear all these logs also, you can clear. This is the unnecessary logs, right? Every time it is printing all the logs, like all the deployment logs, it is printing every time. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let's see then. Yeah, I'm sending the request. Okay, with 40,000. I'm sending. Now you can see, oh my god, it is not sending in a proper format. So that's fine. Okay, instead of this set payload, we can use one more powerful component here. What is that powerful component? Transform message. So we'll discuss this transform message in tomorrow's session. It is a very useful component. Okay, tomorrow you can understand what is the purpose of this transform message, how many types we can use this transform message. So I can say simply transform message is the one of the most powerful component in our entire MuleSoft. Okay, I'll explain tomorrow why it is that much powerful component. Okay. So here I will write the JSON, same data, whatever I'm writing here, same data I'm copying here. Okay, Control A, Control C, I'm pasting here. Okay, within this curly braces, I'm pasting the data, and I'm removing this set payload. Control S. So only this transform message is I'm setting the data. So why I'm setting this data? To return to the browser as a response. Response, I don't want to see input request. Whatever I'm sending request, this request I don't want to see as a response. So that's why I am setting my own response by using transform message. Okay. So now let's see, I'm sending the request with the 40,000. Let's see. Now you will get 200 OK in a JSON format message like data returned to file successfully. Here I'm sending this request, I'm getting this message. It's look some good, right? It looks good, right? So in this way you have to prepare your request and response and go to the folder. Here open this file, then you can see price is 40,000. Even you can change these details also. So for the better understanding, you can change the kind of other mobiles. Okay, Nokia mobile or something. So your name you can also change, and then you can see, so complete details will change. Okay, so then you can check again, then you will understand better. Okay, in this way. So yeah, tell me guys. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys once again.